software, and literally we'll just choose whatever media players they've decided to be compatible with their players. We make best-in-class media players, and we provide you with free software and networking options to play with our media players. We're really known in the industry for our reliability. We're extremely affordable. We've got an easy-to-use platform. There's no question that the Brightsign platform is by far the highest quality output and has a very powerful video engine to do a lot of different unique and versatile options. One thing I wanted to point out is we were founded in 2002 by Anthony Wood, and Anthony may or may not be known by some of you, but ironically, Anthony was the inventor of the digital video recorder. So everything that we're recording on our DVRs at home is Anthony Wood's technology. He invented that, and why that's important is because Brightsign's ability in the market with video capabilities really stems from Anthony's platform, and we've built on that. In addition to the DVR, Anthony also invented the Roku player, and why that's important is Roku is actually our sister company. While we don't share P&L together, we do share board members, and so Anthony Wood sits on the board for Brightsign, and Jeff Hastings, who's our CEO, sits on the board with Anthony Wood's Roku. So the reason that's important is that Roku sells millions of little Roku boxes, and we use that economies of scale when we're developing our new players. And so because we engineer and build our own players, we use the leverage and the economies of scales that Roku provides us to get very good affordable costs from some of these chipset manufacturers in China. So that's a very important part of how we are able to build best-in-class product, be first in line in terms of getting our products out to the market, and also to get really good best-in-class affordability to you as well. So right now, to date, we've sold over 800,000 Brightsign media players, which is a significant number considering the fact that we really have not really been selling since, I think, 2006. This is a real quick idea of the market, and I think why this is important for you guys to see is you'll see, obviously, Brightsign holds the #1 market share at just about 12%. But what's interesting is you'll see down at the very bottom where it says others, over a third of the market is built on people or companies in the digital signage market that own less than 1/4%. So this digital signage market is it's pelted with many, many media player companies out there. Some that are not the most ideal solutions, but are very affordable, and others that are very discombobulated and maybe network or software related, but don't have a very good hardware solution or vice versa. You'll notice #2 is Stratacache. They've converted over to using Brightsign media players. They're a software company that have decided to convert over. So #1 and #2 are using Brightsign, which is interesting. But it's a very diverse market, clearly. Brightsign leads the way, but this includes everything. This is computers, this is Android devices, this is thumb drives, anything related to a digital media player. So a very, very diluted market, if you will. This is really what differentiates Brightsign. It's really what we stand for: reliability and affordability. Our reliability, we have less than 1/4% fail rate. And actually that number has been updated since this slide was made. Our fail rate is actually now 0.16%. And what that means is for every 6,000 players that are out in the market, out in the field, only one might fail. I mean, it's an unbelievable reliability, and it's something that we hold very true. These are real numbers, and people that deploy Brightsign into the field can rest assured that the players are actually going to work. And that's completely different from what the digital signage industry has known in the past, because the majority of the digital signage market up until Brightsign came into the play, was PC related, and we all know what happens to PCs. They run hot, they're not reliable, and they're very expensive. So Brightsign gives you reliability. We're a non-PC. We have a solid state device, and there's no moving parts. There's no fans to keep it cool. It's a very, very durable and reliable player. From an affordability standpoint, it's really what separates us. We include our software, which we call BrightAuthor. We include that. You can download it on our website today. Everyone else in the market is either going to charge you for the software or, more importantly, charge you a monthly fee to use their software. We don't do that. We have no hidden fees. You download the BrightAuthor software on our website, and there's many tutorials on our website to help train the end user on how to use it. So a very reliable and very affordable solution. I don't know why. There we go. So just real quick on the products. So we really go with a good, better, best solution. We've included a number of different options here where we've gone from our actually players start at $250. One that's not listed here is more of it's called our LS422. It's a very low-cost solution that it starts at $250. One of the things that we look at from a product standpoint is HTML, and many people that are building content are using HTML to build the screen, and all of our players now support HTML5. And so that's a very important piece because it allows you to have content builders build whatever the screen wants to look like, build it in HTML, and publish it directly to the players themselves. Remote Snapshot is an interesting feature that we just launched. It allows you to see what's playing at any time on any of the players out of the field. The other thing that you should know is our 1080p 60 frames per second media players. It gets back to my point on video. We have an amazing ability to play video at the highest level, from 1080p at a single decode, or when you look at the XD lineup, we're able to do two 1080p 60 frames per second videos simultaneously on the screen. And that's a very important piece because no other PC is going to be able to do that. And if they could, it would cost thousands of dollars to do. Another feature that we've added is power over Ethernet. That's in the XD and the 4K series. And I get into the 4K part of it. We were the first to market with a 4K player, and I want to go through the 4K because it's a very important topic, and it's something that's really coming into play in the market today. 4K, there's a lot of people out there right now that are saying they can run 4K, and actually every other 4K player on the market today, worldwide, is unable to do what Brightsign can do in terms of playing back 4K. All of the new TVs in the market today play at 4K at the new H.265 compression rating and at 60 frames per second. No other player in the market today globally has the ability to play back H.265 compressed audio at 60 frames per second using HDMI 2.0. Nobody can do it. And the reason for that is Brightsign's ability to get first to the market. We were the ones that came to the market in September of last year with the first 4K media player. So all of our players, all of our 4K players have the ability to play an encoded video at the highest resolution that the new TVs have in the market. Nobody else is doing that. They're all playing at 30 frames per second, and most of them are all doing it with the H.265 compression. So that means a 4K video file is at 70 to 80 megabits, as opposed to the H.265 compression setting takes that 70 to 80 megabit file and compresses it down to about the same file size as a 1080p file at about 20 megabit. So it allows you to send very high-resolution video file through the pipe and through the Brightsign player and onto whatever 4K TV you've got in stock. So that's a very important differentiator for Brightsign. We're the only ones in the market that can do it today. We talk about networking and our authoring tool. We have the ability to download BrightAuthor off of our website. It's a free software, and you're able to do a lot of things with it. It gives you the ability to create what you want the TV to show for your digital signage. So the reality is you can build whatever you want, and as long as you've got the content, you can build the presentation. You can preview it to see what it looks like before you go out and publish it. And when you publish it, you can go and actually tell the players when to play it. You can either have them play the content all day, every day, just ongoing. You can have them play from a certain time period and stop time and then have more content play at a different time. So if you wanted a certain topic or a certain presentation to run from 8 a.m. to noon, and then at noon switch to another piece of content or presentation, you do that through your publishing tool inside BrightAuthor. And then we have the ability to manage it either with a free solution, or we have a cloud-based solution called Brightsign Network as well. So there's different network options that we provide your end users. You clearly can, because all of our players do not have a hard drive, all of the media is stored in an SD card that you place into the Brightsign player. So clearly you could reload content onto the SD card and manually input it into the Brightside player. That's not convenient if it's the player is up high, or if you're sending it out to multiple players in the field. So we give you two different options in terms of networking for free. So local network publishing is when you can, when you're under your LAN and you want to send content out to players that are all within the LAN. You can push content out that way, and that's free. Simple file networking is an option where you've got multiple players in multiple locations, and that gives you the option to develop, say, a web server or, say, a Dropbox files, for instance. You can submit or send the content or store the content in that web server file and have the players told to go out to that web server or that Dropbox file and pull down the new content. So simple file networking is a free option, but it also limits you as to how many players you want to actually manually send the information to. So usually we say around 10 to 12 media players in the field is as much as you want to go for simple file networking. Once you get past that, you're going to want to have a cloud-based system where you've got the ability to manage either groups, or you can have simple users making changes to certain players. So our Brightside Network is a cloud-based solution that we offer. It's still very affordable. The cost is $99 per player per year for the subscription. And that gives you a lot of different options in terms of getting content out to the players. This way, the players are actually not, you can have content pushed to the players, or you can have the players come out and pull down the new content at certain times. But again, you can have multiple options in terms of what users can do what, and you can play around with the different rules. So that's our Brightside Network. We also have an Enterprise Edition if there are companies that would prefer to have the Brightside Network hosted on their own server. So those are the different networking options. I mentioned Brightside Network. It's PCI compliant, subscription based. It allows you to maintain it on your own network. You can distribute presentations. You can create network groups. You can monitor the activity. It gives you diagnostic information. I mentioned you can assign roles and permissions. So a lot of different functionality with Brightside Network, and again, that's $99 per player per year. So that's it in general. I've got maybe 5 little quiz topics for you to go home with here, just to kind of wrap things up. What features are supported on the Brightsign HD lineup? They all support HTML5. They all have at least 1080p at 60 frames per second single video decoding. They all have interactivity with USB, serial, GPIO, UDP. They can do all kinds of different interactivity. They all have networking, so all of them have the ability to run this. From a 4K perspective, again, all of them have the ability, the 4K players have the ability to decode at the H.265 compression, HDMI 2.0, and the highest resolution of 4K at 60 frames per second. And then finally, with the BrightAuthor software, it's included at free of charge with every Brightsign model you purchase. What methods of presentation publishing does Brightsign support? We support sending information directly onto an SD card. We support local networking to your LAN. We support simple file networking. And clearly, we've got our Brightsign network for the cloud-based solution. What tasks can you do with BrightAuthor software? You can build presentations, you can publish those presentations, and you can manage them with the Brightsign network units. And can you preview presentation playback in BrightAuthor? Yes. Before you publish it to any of the SD cards or out to the field, you can preview what your presentation will look like before you send it out. And that's it in a nutshell. I apologize that I did it as quickly as I had to, but if you've got questions, I would highly recommend that you specifically go to brightsign.biz and go to our training tab. There are tons of great video tutorials that will allow you to step you through everything. And I'm always available as well via email if you'd like to send an email and with any questions. So I'll open it up if I have any time left to any questions.
Thank you so much, Eric. I had a quick question, and everyone, of course, feel free to jump in with any questions you have. But as far as contacts for our team to call whenever they have questions for their customers, who's the best person to reach out to at Brightsign?
Well, I would start with me, and I will send you to the right person. The one thing that I would highly recommend, though, is if it's a technical support question, and we get this a lot, where a lot of people, we have free technical support on our website. Log into our website and open up a support ticket. I would highly recommend that you or your customers do it this way. And when they do that, make sure that you pose your questions in a way that it's got a lot of information so that our tech support guys can answer it effectively. You should get an answer back within 20 minutes of sending your email request. And that's, again, through our support at brightsign.biz. And again, be very detailed in your questions so that they can answer it effectively.
Perfect. Thank you. So floor is open for anyone else who has any questions. We'll give a few minutes. Questions, comments? All right. I think you did a great job covering everything, Eric. So if you need anything, I will be able to share your presentation as long as it's okay with Eric with the team, just so you have this information handy.
Yeah, of course.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time, Eric, and thank you everyone for joining the training by Brightsign. Reach out to Eric and I if you have any questions.
Awesome. Thank you very much,
everyone. Thank you.
Yep. Bye. Take care.